Alfawise G70. This is likely the cheapest carDVR with SuperCapacitor below $50, and if you live in a hot place and need the most budget-friendly solution, the next few minutes are just for you. Z-Pin, Autolover, Juski, and in my case, Alfawise. There are many different brands for that dashcam. This is very common. Someone in China develops a model, and then it gets branded and produced in massive scale for various popular web stores. So if you see this with a bit different logo and packaging, there is a great chance that it performs exactly the same way as the one I'm already unboxing. Yeah, there's nothing too spectacular about the box, at least it is an Alfawise branded box, and we know up front, a large screen and full HD resolution. Good amount of accessories is included, and there is a data cable, a cigar lighter based charger, which is luckily with an extra USB port, and with long 3.5-meter cable and 2 different mount options. You can use either the suction-based mount or the sticker-based one, meaning that you have the freedom to easily move the carDVR from one vehicle to another without having to purchase extra mounts. Just as almost every other dash camera, this one covers the most important functions in a very automatic way. It turns on as soon as it receives power and immediately starts recording, and powers off as soon as the engine goes off. Should the micro SD card go full, the algorithm of the DVR will erase the oldest recording, and once you get the dashcam installed, you will have no need to manually do anything unless you want to change a setting or get a copy of some of the footage. It also has a special folder where the emergency recordings are placed. These are write protected and stay. So far, having all this packed within just $45 is quite spectacular, especially knowing about the hardware specs. And yeah, I need to say a few words about that. It is indeed very promising. An excellent chipset, the NTK96658, which is a very capable processor. The image sensor is Sony IMX323, and the lens setup has aperture of f/1.5, and inside, instead of a battery, there's a supercapacitor. For those of you who are not too familiar with these specs, a good processor, a sensor which is one of the best from the budget segment, a brilliant lens setup which allows more light than comparable models, and no lithium battery, which makes this dashcam suitable for very hot areas like Dubai, or Melbourne, or Johannesburg, or Catania, and that was quite a quick tour around the world, maybe some good ideas for your next trip. If you leave the device for a prolonged time under direct sunlight, that should be just fine, and makes the G70 Moto perhaps the best choice for a good working dash camera with a capacitor for less than $50. I will take the opportunity and bring your attention to some more footage. I can indeed confirm that the camera performs surprisingly well, no matter whether we talk about bright sunny day or a snowy afternoon or cloudy weather or very dark nights or even shooting through a windshield which is very dirty. You seem to get a lot of detail no matter what the conditions are, and having spent a few weeks with this device, I'm almost ready to abandon pretty much anything else which is way more expensive. Currently, the size of the dashcam sensors are still too small to really expect miracles from 4K footage, and for most of us, even in 2019, having full HD is simply good enough. I'm happy to say that the good news is not over yet. Firstly, a wonderful, bright, well-calibrated 2.45-inch display with colors which are exactly the opposite of being vivid. 170-degree of wide-angle lens, a gravity sensor, Wi-Fi and therefore smartphone app. Again, saying it in simple words, you have wide visibility of what's in front of you, a sensor which can sense sudden braking or collisions and immediately save the video as emergency, and a way to easily download the recordings without having to remove the micro SD. Conveniently, the files are recorded in chunks that you may control, having the smallest of 1 minute, which is around 100 megabytes of a size. No need to say that the installation is very easy and will literally take you a few minutes. Find a good spot for placing the G70, and placing it higher will of course bring better results. Then look for a good way to bring the wiring to the car cigar lighter and you're done. Having spoken only about advantages, let's highlight the flaws and make a good summary. There is no advertised parking monitor, meaning that you have no good way to record the parking events, which is a bit disappointing. Many dash cameras nowadays have a dedicated parking mode and they detect movements, and if there is such, the camera records for a few minutes and then goes back to standby. You can actually still record parking events with the G70 if it is hardwired, and in fact, while it is not advertised, motion detection does pretty well in these occasions, so unofficially you can count on that feature too. There is no option for connecting an external GPS, but I won't really stress much on the last one as it is quite expected for a device of this budget. Also, the suction cup mount, while being great for quick mounting, is done in a way that sometimes may add extra shakiness to the footage. Of course, I've seen the same with other dashcams of much higher class and range, but it's worth mentioning right here. At the moment of making the video, I think it is probably the best cheap dashcam with a capacitor and is well suitable for hot places and areas with high temperatures. As you can see, the footage seems to be excellent. Colorful, very sharp, yeah, quite distorted by the edges of the screen because of the very wide angle, but if you're looking for plates and car details, you've got them. Very strong characteristic is the night footage, and I think Alfawise nailed it with this model. Yes, there are some shortcomings, but apparently nothing too serious, which certainly brings the G70 among the most pleasant surprises of 2019. So, here we are, again, at the moment where we can discuss. Being surrounded by Mijia, 70mi, Viofo, Blackview, and bunch of other great brands. Does the no-name G70, branded as Alfawise, have a chance? By the way, should you like the camera, there is a special link in the description just below the video, with included discount code and surrounded by more information about this dashcam. It's been a great pleasure to present you this new model. For more reviews of other cool tech, stay tuned and subscribed. Quite many ways to support me. You can start by liking and sharing the video, and the rest, I'll leave it up to your creativity. You've been a great audience, and I'll see you soon. Cheers!